Are you hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2024? First of all, congratulations. I'm so jealous. You're about to embark on the most amazing journey. And second of all, I have 6 tips for you. Before I get into these tips, I just wanted to mention that my AT memoir, Where the Rhododendrons Bloom, is now available on Amazon and Kindle. It's available in ebook and paperback form. So if you want to know what it's really like to hike the AT, definitely go check out my book. The link is down in the show notes as well. And without further ado, let's get into these 6 tips for hiking the Appalachian Trail. Tip number 1 is to take care of your body. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Your body has to hold up for 2,200 miles, so make sure that you are fueling it properly and taking rest days when you need them. I know it's tempting to just live on junk food. It's cheap, it's oftentimes delicious and fun to eat, and it's fun when you're doing so much exercise that you could just eat whatever you want all day. But I promise you, if you just live on junk food, you're gonna end up suffering for it. You're gonna run out of energy. I became really anemic on the AT. I was really tired by the end of the trail and my hair was falling out. So I would definitely recommend that you make sure you're getting enough protein. Maybe consider taking a multivitamin. Get produce when you can, like when you're in towns. During the cold months of the AT, I used to carry out bags of spinach and put it in my meals, and that worked really well. And in terms of rest days, there are always going to be people who are pushing miles and asking you how many miles a day you're doing. Don't worry about those people. Listen to your body, because like I said, you need your body to last throughout the whole trail, and injury is one of the big reasons that people get off. So please, 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 please pay attention to your body and take care of it. You need to keep it in tippy-top shape. Tip number 2 is to test out your gear before you leave. Make sure everything fits you well. It's gonna work well in all kinds of weather. It rains a ton on the AT. Make sure it's gonna hold up in inclement weather. Take a couple of backpacking trips with your gear before you actually head out for your thru hike. Test it out and go on those backpack trips in inclement weather when it's not ideal. Go out in the rain, go out in the snow, go out in the heat. Test it all out, make sure it works for you. If it doesn't, then swap some things out, because your gear is huge in keeping you comfortable and happy on the trail. If you get out on your thru hike though and something isn't working for you, no big deal. There are lots of towns and lots of outfitters along the AT, so you will always have a chance to swap out some things later. Not a big deal, but it's just easier to do it before you get out there, so that once you start, you're feeling confident, you're feeling good, and you're feeling comfortable. Tip number 3 is to hike at your own pace. This might be the only thru hike that you ever get to do. Do it your way. Don't be on someone else's schedule. I made this mistake on my AT thru hike and I regret it. If you want to push a big day to push your body and see what you can do, then push a big day. If you want to hike slow and take lots of rest and swim in every creek and pond and lake, then do it. This is your hike. Do it the way that is most true to yourself and the experience that you want to have. Tip number 4, keep a budget. If you're not one of those lucky people with endless money to spend, then keep track of where your money is going, how much you're spending, and make sure that you're not going to run out of money. Running out of money is one of the other huge reasons that people have to quit their thru hikes, so don't let that be you. And if you are on a tight budget, stay out of towns as much as you can, and especially stay out of restaurants, because as much as you're dreaming about food in the wilderness, having that restaurant meal that you can't afford is not going to be worth it when you have to leave the trail early because you spent all of your money. Keep track of your expenses and keep them in check. Tip number 5, if you're an inexperienced backpacker, get an experienced backpacker to give you a shakedown. A shakedown is when they will rifle through your things and take out things that they think that you don't need. You're probably not going to want to part with these things at first, but trust me, it's for the best. You don't want a bunch of stuff weighing you down. As I mentioned before, Injury is one of the big reasons that people get off trail. It might be the biggest reason that people get off trail. And if you're bogging yourself down with more heavy stuff, you're gonna be more likely to get injured and you're gonna be less happy. So do a shakedown, get that stuff out of your pack that you don't need. And if you start your thru hike and you find that you have things in your pack that you're not using, get rid of them, send them home. There are plenty of post offices along the AT. It's easy to do that, no big deal. Cut the extra weight. Tip number 6, take lots of photos, not just of the landscape, but of yourself and your friends as well. I can look back on my photos and know exactly where I was, exactly how I was feeling, and exactly what I was experiencing. It's like magic, and it's like being able to transport yourself back onto the trail, even just for a split second. So don't neglect taking photos. You'll want them in the future, I promise. Thanks for watching, you guys. Good luck on your AT journeys. Make sure you check out my book, Where the Rhododendrons Bloom, to find out what it's really like to hike the trail. And if you're interested in more hiking, backpacking, outdoor, thru hiking content, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for being here, and I'll see y'all later.